It's worked. Hello. I hope everyone can hear. Just had the most ridiculous conversation with Karen about neither of us actually having started a live video before. So, and neither of us knew how to do it because we've only ever been involved in chats where somebody else has started it. So that was a really good start. So hopefully she's seen that we are live and she's gonna ask to join. Oh, hi Amy. All right, well, Karen has joined, so now she's gonna. Yes, here we go. Let's see. Oh, I hope that she's.
Aye. So hysterical that neither of us has done it actually.
I just I got like 2 minutes before and I thought, how to actually start one. Oh,
So hysterical. We're
so
so technically like-minded, aren't we? We're like you and I.
well, we did get there. We did get there.
We did.
But
We did.
dear, so lovely to see
I
you.
know. Lovely to see you. Cheers too.
You know, we have we have been in contact. You sent me lovely gift, beautiful candle, coasters, and I felt very special. But I wanted to see how you're doing. I mean, firstly, I mean it must feel the same to you. I mean, as time goes on and more stuff just gets cancelled. I mean, is there anything that you particularly just think, oh God, I was so looking forward to doing that? Because there's definitely stuff for me that is just like, you think, oh no, I can't believe that's happened. And when is that opportunity going to come again?
Yeah, I was supposed to be doing Glyndebourne this summer, doing a new production of Dialogue de Carmelite by Poulenc, with Barry Kosky, the Australian director, who's amazing, who's the intendant at the Komische Oper in Berlin. And yeah, it was going to be this amazing thing. Hopefully we're able to move it to another time. But yeah, it just made me so down. And so actually I haven't sung for 10 weeks. I know.
It's so hard. The thing is that life just becomes totally normal now, isn't it? To just basically not be making the music. But I think everyone is just so desperate to get back to it. And I know I have colleagues who just haven't played at all. I mean, I've wanted to just to keep up a kind of a muscle memory,
Yeah.
but then you've probably been really busy with homeschooling as well for Adam, who takes
Homeschooling.
you or Nick.
Oh. So I have a 12-year-old son. Well, he'll be 12 this month. And so I'm homeschooling him, which is like, oh God, it's so traumatic, actually. It's really traumatic. So, yeah, so like working out how to do fractions and how to go back to doing percentages the other way and all of this sort of stuff, which is it's just bonkers. Yeah, it's driving me mad. And today was one of those days where I think both of us just wanted to throw bricks at one another. We were just like, but yeah, I've been doing that plus doing teaching from home over Zoom as well. So, because the thing is actually, and I'm quite open about this, my beginning of this lockdown period, I got really depressed. And so I found that my way to make myself better and keep my brain in a healthy spot was to actually keep busy. I know I'm a workaholic anyway. I'm sure you have no idea what that means, Max, but you know, I know I'm a workaholic, so I think I had to find my way to make that work even though I wasn't performing.
Yeah.
And so the teaching has really helped. And just being able to give out positive energy over the screen, and help people like find ways of doing technical things, and just helping them with some positivity and some, you know, letting them know that their own music is so important. Everybody's music is really important. And so wanting people to really experience that. Oh, bless you, Justin, saying amazing teacher. Well, he's one of my amazing students. And, you know, he just comes with fresh energy every time and is so dedicated and so conscientious and just works really hard. And that's, God, there's no other gift than that, is there, really?
Because I think so much of what we do is, we forget when we're doing that day in, day out, and we're always off on tour, rehearsals, there's so much human engagement. And when that's taken away, and probably like me, it's not, I didn't play for 2 weeks because I just thought, why would I want to play? It's just me. I'm not interested. It's not like I love my playing. I want to be making the music. And at least, you know, if you found a way to share with being able to teach people online, that must feel really, really like a positive step forward. Because for so many of us, if this whole idea of being collaborative is suddenly taken away, and maybe it's not your thing to want to do a split screen piece or stuff, which doesn't always work anyway.
Yeah.
I must love the teaching.
It's not, that whole performance thing's not so much my thing. And I think it's funny, I was part of the Benedetti Foundation at the weekend again, and I did this discussion with Mary Beard. Amazing. Imagine being on a discussion with Mary Beard. I was so terrified. Oh my God. Anybody asked a question, I kind of got panicky and like, don't mess this up, Karen. Try and sound intelligent. So Mary Beard and Dr. Raj Persaud, who's like a TV, I mean, he's a psychiatrist, but he like does TV stuff as well. And we were just sort of talking about like what the impact has been and all of this. And I said, you know, I think for singers especially, because the voice comes from us, the emotional place comes from us as human beings. I think those two places are so interlinked and so close that actually I wonder if the reason I haven't sung is because if I did sing, I might really be very sad.
Yeah.
And, you know, because it's such it's so connected. The whole thing's so connected.
Yeah. Your body's your instrument. Everything is about it. I think it's, yeah, I totally understand. I'm already not dreading, but the moment we get back to work, I've got a feeling the moment we sit down in whatever formation of work, I thought, oh God, I'd probably cry with the emotion, the sort of pent up emotion of it all, because I haven't really allowed myself to really digest it. Like you, the easiest way for me to do it was just to keep really busy.
Yeah.
So I have something every day, you know, whether it's, you know, practicing a bit every morning, focusing on different writing. I haven't allowed myself to just sit and think, gosh, what does the future hold, and how do I really feel about it? Because it is too emotional. I think it's what we do is not like a job. It's like somebody just taking your entire lifestyle away from you, and there's no way to kind of really recreate that or even explain it properly in words. But I've got a feeling I'll probably be sitting there sort of like, you know, bawling my eyes out and going, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, well, Lucy Draver was telling us about this thing on the Benedetti talk, about how she'd watched a YouTube clip of a girl who was filming herself warming up, and she went to sing and she started to cry.
Oh, yeah.
Just, I think the release of the energy and that whole thing of putting herself in that place, that vulnerable place that we do as musicians, I think it just opened up this whole thing, and I don't think I'm ready to do that yet. So the most that you'll hear from me is a big screecher of a note when I'm trying to teach somebody. Or, you know, I haven't even warmed up because I don't know. I think I'm afraid, you know. So it's been nice to be able to also have a bit of an enforced sabbatical. That's something I wanted to ask you about, because being superstar violinist with the LSO, front desk. Like,
On the
you
front
are. You're always in the front desk when I'm there.
just push myself forward when I have to get closer to Karen. Let me through.
But you are constantly on the road with LSO. Like, what I always find amazing with you guys is I'll do a concert with you like on the weekend, so the Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday you're at the airport at like 6, getting ready to go off for a tour for a week. So how does it feel going from 500 miles an hour to, being not?
Yeah, it's I found that really difficult at first because it's almost like I felt I was defined very much by what I do and my job, and it's really so much, it really means everything to me. So, but I think I tried to just look on the bright side of things in general, and I just said to myself, okay, maybe I'll look back on 2020 as, being a bit shit financially and kind of, not being able to do a lot of projects I wanted to do. I know you were supposed to do Glyndebourne. Obviously, I love going to Aix to do the opera, and the moment it was like, oh no, because it's like a second home for the orchestra. We're so familiar with spending so many weeks there.
Yeah.
But it is just, and in a way, I hope we might look back on it as a way of thinking, well, it was nice to just have a pause, a bit of a time out. Ironically, my playing is better than ever, and nobody's getting to hear it. Every day, which I don't usually have the luxury of doing that alone. I mean, it's different, if you're bashing through Prokofiev symphony cycles every day, you're playing a lot, but okay, maybe you're not listening so much and the quality of playing isn't quite the same. So funnily enough, I thought, wow, I haven't felt this in shape since I left college. But I think it's good to just feel fulfilled, whether it's in some form. But I want to look at it in a positive way, and in which case, having the time to do a lot of things that you wanted to do, learn pieces you want to learn, or even just have time to do stuff around the house. And people said like, oh, we didn't know you liked to cook. And I said, well, it's more that most of the time you don't have time. You're grabbing something for a concert or just snacking on the go. And of course now one has time to just dedicate, well, my life is dominated by the meal times, to be honest. Now it's like, my lunch on.
So true. So true.
I don't know about you. I can't imagine, something that would happen monthly, if not many times monthly. I can't imagine getting on a plane. I can't imagine just that was so normal. It was like, there back at Heathrow the following week, and but now it seems like a very alien concept.
Totally. The amount of people that would be sitting together in close proximity like that, I just can't imagine it. But what I've explained to a lot of people, and I mean, this is an extreme version, but this is how singers live their life. In that we always carry antibacterial hand gel. I never touch a door handle. I always use my elbow, or I cover my hand. I don't ever touch a door handle. And just like being aware of the space that you're in when I fly. I don't know about you, but I know you've got your eye mask and stuff that you wear. But like, I have a humidifier that I travel with. People either love them or hate them. But I also wear a cream inside my nose so that if anything goes up your nose, those tricks that you can blow it out and stuff. Whereas now, like, everybody's panicking about that sort of stuff, and I'm like, yeah, well, welcome.
Yeah, you were just remember Naomi Campbell, sort of her disinfecting her seat thing, which sort of went viral a few months before. Yeah, I think, and I always remember as a kid, and somebody always said, oh, Kerry Takano would never shake anyone's hand, that, because she's, and don't you think that's really rude? And I think, well, I mean, no, because surely for a singer, you can play a concert with a cold as a violinist. It's fine.
Yeah.
No, but any sign of anything here, it's guys, that's cancelling a run of concerts, if not, so I think,
Totally.
yeah, I think we're all going to feel very differently and moving forward with travel and
I know it'll be interesting to see how it's gonna work, and because we're sort of talking. So my husband's chief exec of the National Youth Orchestras of Scotland, so he's really in.
I don't know if you can hear me, Karen, but I've lost your sound. I hope it's not me, but I can't hear you. Oh, are you back? Technology. Is it your Wi-Fi?
You're still there. Hey,
Hello,
was it my
back.
Wi-Fi?
I don't know. You paused for me, and you were just talking about Nick and the MIO Scotland.
And yeah, Scotland. So and how he's talking to the venues and talking about like when they're going to open and what that's going to look like and what will social distancing look like. And actually, the thing that nobody really realizes is that front of house is one thing, backstage is something really quite different, because there are so many people in a backstage area. And so
Yeah,
how you then make them all separate, and you protect them all, and do they wear gloves, do they wear masks, how is that all policed?
yeah,
So yeah, I mean,
yeah.
you guys at Barbican have quite a good backstage.
Uh,
I mean, relatively.
I don't know. It's hard to say because it's still a space where perhaps over 100 people are going to be milling about
Yeah.
and changing and all going to the artist bar, going to the loo. It's a massive consideration because, as you say, and as Nick will have definitely found, it's one thing to manage to socially distance people on stage in some form, but it's everyone getting to their seats even or arriving at the venue, which causes there's so many variables that we have to,
Totally.
you know,
Totally.
change backstage in sort of shifts. Do you expect people to come just changed? It's just a mind-boggling array of questions after question. So even for an
Yeah.
audience concert, they're all going to arrive. They're all going to want to come in at the same time. They're all going to dash to the bar. They're all going to need to go to the toilet. So I just think,
I
oh, well,
know.
as long as someone just tells me where I'm supposed to go, right?
Yeah, exactly.
There, on stage and do your thing. I'm, in a way, we've kind of got the easy job. I really feel for the people who work behind the scenes who have to organise all this, which is really, going to
Yeah.
be a problem for a long, long, long time for us, I think.
Yeah, it is. But you and I have been so lucky that we've done so many cool things together. If you
Yeah,
think of all the years I've been coming to LSO,
I
I
know.
mean, my God, because I started with MTT. Now, that was my debut. So that must have been, oh God, I'm trying
That
to
was
think.
before I joined then, for
Yeah,
sure.
so that was pre Adam. So that must have been maybe 2004 or
Oh, okay. I
5.
was there then. I didn't realise that would have been your debut, actually, the orchestra.
Yeah, yeah.
Kind of, I don't know, you've always felt like a total part of the furniture with the orchestra.
Oh, God,
It's
love you.
true. It's true.
Yeah, well, when Colin was there, I was there a lot.
Yeah,
So, and
yeah.
the famous time when I was at home, I was on Facebook. This really happened. A gorgeous mutual friend of ours, Daniele Quiglieri, who's the casting director at London Symphony.
And massive love
Um,
message to say, give Karen a big kiss.
I'll send him a message, send him loads of love. He saw I was on Facebook, of all things, and he sent me a message and he said, "Can you be in London tomorrow?"
Oh,
I
yes.
said, could. What is it for? He said, Verdi Requiem. Yeah, fine. And so I flew down that night, and then I came to the General. I didn't know it was the General, and then
Yeah.
it was being recorded. And I walked in and sang the general rehearsal. And that was when Colin said to me, I got an entry wrong and I swore. It was a mild swear word. It wasn't like a bad swear word. I think I said shit. And he then looked down at me and said, "Did you just call me governor?" And I was hot. I was so horrified. And I said, no, I did not. And he said, "I rather wish you had." And I thought, oh my God. And then that was my relationship with him sort of cemented after that. And I just thought, what an absolute just genius of a man. He made me feel so comfortable straight away because obviously I was under immense pressure.
Yes, you know, the situation now, yeah, totally. And that's a good thing about Facebook, eh?
I know.
Social media is like, Karen.
She's at home. I probably sent a picture, some boring picture of my garden or something. And he's like, she's at home. Get on a plane. Get down here. And that we had the most amazing times. Remember, we went to Luxembourg and everything. It was fabulous.
The post-concert dinner. All very lovely.
Oh yeah, we've had sometimes Gestart. When I showed up at Gestart and my suitcase didn't arrive.
Oh yes.
And of course I had to say to him, "I've only got this outfit that I'm wearing. Like it's like my jeans and my t-shirt." And he said, "If you're going to wear that, I'm going to just wear what I have on too. So don't worry." I was like, really? Oh my God. Okay.
Nightmare of not having a case now. I've had it the other way around where I've gotten flown back to Heathrow and the suitcase has gone awry, and you just think, okay, at least I'm going home, and that's. But if I turned up on tour, and I'd probably just I'd probably just cry. I'd probably just.
It's happened to me twice. Once was that time, and once was in Canada where I was doing a recital and my dress didn't show up and I had to go to a bridesmaid shop and buy a dress at Christmas of all times. Whereas now I usually carry an extra dress in my carry-on bag just in case.
Yeah, I think.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because I always have this. I mean, at least for a concert, in the orchestra, you could cobble together something from everybody else. Or one time, I think we were in Cologne and a load of suitcases. We were flying from City Airport and they decided the plane, there was a few of us on that plane, it was overloaded. So we were looking out the window and you could see them offloading luggage. And we were like, what? It's like, as long as that's my case. So we knew players were going to arrive without their case. And obviously flying to Europe, you have a concert that night. Yeah. But the phone then said, well, we will give you access to the opera department where there will be clothes. And luckily for me, it wasn't. But there were a few ladies in the orchestra. The men looked amazing because they had some amazing tails with really stark shirts from some production. And the women's clothes were really funny. Very, one of them was Christine Pendrell in the Cor Anglais.
Oh, yeah.
So sequined with a massive pattern. She said, I feel like the Chrysler building. It was a sort of Art Deco-y. It was actually quite impressive. They just sort of said, right, here are the things that will work for your concert, you know, black, sparkly, whatever. So, but I've always had this idea that I thought, oh my God, I really hope that doesn't happen. So maybe I'll put some stuff in my hand luggage next time.
Oh, yeah. Carry it in your hand luggage. It always freaks me out. In my hand luggage, I usually have 65 iPhone chargers because let's be honest, all of those things always go missing. Yeah. 64 iPhone chargers, my iPad, my Kindle, a dress, all the antibacterial stuff that I could possibly fit in there. And
I always have snacks.
You have which? Snacks. Yeah. I usually, at the airport, I always buy like a cheeky little bag of something because you get there and you know you're going to get the munchies at ridiculous clock when you arrive. Yeah. And then you've got to go somewhere in Hungary where you can't speak the language. So you've just got to go out and forage. Yeah. Or they say, you get to the hotel and they say, sorry, restaurant closed like half an hour. So I know. I always go over it and I have like such a big bag of snacks. Everyone's like,
how long do you think this tour is? How many sandwiches are in that bag? Like, well, you never know. You know, there's before the concert, after the concert, when you get there. But
Yeah.
better.
Noise cancelling headphones. You have to have noise cancelling headphones, especially you guys when you're on the bus.
Yeah. Well, I thought the thing is, I'm lucky. I can fall asleep like that. If as long as I'm down, it doesn't matter. Plane, train, whatever. Everyone always goes like, "How are you managing that?" And I think it's, to be honest, I'm really lucky because there's so many times you do need to just snatch half an hour kit. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm the person who goes like, "Oh yes, 4 hour journey tomorrow," and everyone's like, "Oh God, what are you like?" Because it doesn't matter if even like a table formation facing colleagues, I'll just be like neck pillow, like just.
That's the only thing though. You wake up, your jaw's hanging open, someone's staring at you, and
Yeah.
you've drooled all down here. That's usually me. I've like drooled all down. And then I wake up. Once it happened to me, these two ladies sitting across from me in a train, and I woke up and I had, as we say in Scotland, slavered all down my neck, all down here. And I woke up and realised that I'd been snoring the whole way. And just, I think they were just like, that is an immense noise.
I'm always paranoid someone's going to take a picture of me and like post it on Twitter or something. But it was a gift, this neck pillow, and it comes attached with this hood.
Oh.
So happy. I thought this is perfect because then you sleep, but then you can just like I'd seen them before, but they were for kids. Actually, in Hong Kong last year, I thought that's so brilliant. I had this for adults. The kids ones would have like a tiger head or a bear.
Right. Yeah.
But I thought, oh no, those aren't going to work. But yeah, so I've got a plain one now, so I don't have to worry if I look horrendous.
That's dead good. That's really good. I do think I have looked at those pillows, you know, where you can like slide them on the table, the fold down table, and you can slide the pillows on, then you can put your hands in it and you can fall asleep head first. But yeah, here's a tip, people. The things that are the most disgusting on a plane are always that little hook on the tray table and your buckle on your seat. And you've got to wipe your armrests down as well. Those are, oh my God, the germs that are in those things. Yeah. Never mind these weird people that decide to change channels with their feet. Who does that? Who does that? Somebody that's not right. Don't do that, people. Don't. Yeah.
That is really disgusting.
So here's a question for you. If you were stuck, like somewhere in Bulgaria, say, right, and you had to go and get snacks from the Spar. There's always a Spar, right, isn't there? What would be on your snack list? What would you get?
Oh, that's difficult because airports are really difficult for me because, as you know, I try to do carb free, which is why I tend to carry so much stuff in my bag, like nuts and cheese and things. So, I mean, the worst thing for me at airports is generally Pringles. It's just so nice to have a whole thing of Pringles, but I'm really bad at sharing food, so I'm always a bit scared of if I have something that's sort of shareable on the flight that people are going to start, and I'll have to like go, do you want more? And I don't really savoury snacks actually over sweet. But I have to say, one time we flew off on a long haul flight, then I think we were going to Asia, and the night before we'd had a Barbican concert, and a friend had come to the concert. I'd gotten her a ticket, and she brought me a lovely box of Ladurée macaroons. And I thought, I'm going to save these for the flight, you know, because that would be a real treat. So what I did was I just made sure everyone around me was really asleep before I even got them out of the bag, because I was so worried that I'd have something. Yeah, do you want one?
Oh, Max, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh my God.
I'm not good with sharing stuff like that. So I was like, the coast is clear. I can.
Yeah.
I felt like so decadent eating macaroons on a flight.
Yeah, I'll say that is lush. No,
I know.
my go-to, if I was to show up in this bar, I always buy Tuck crackers.
Tuck crackers.
Tuck crackers. I don't know why. There's something about Tuck crackers. They make me feel slightly at home. So I buy Tuck crackers. I'll usually buy some kind of sliced cheese or sometimes pre-packed ham, stuff like that. But crisps, so bad, crisps. And then my post-concert snack choice, Mars bar.
Oh, I haven't had a Mars bar in years.
I work very hard to look like this, and Mars bar is what helps me, Maxine. I always, and I usually, I put it in the fridge in the hotel, and then I eat it in my pajamas.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what you're thinking of when you're just like towards the end, and you're like, Mars bar is my, yeah. Because sometimes you come to the end of the concert and you're just thinking about, because I can't drink alcohol. Obviously everyone goes out and drinks, but I do find I can drink tins of shandy. Such a low amount of alcohol. So I have taken some in my suitcase on tour, and sometimes I think, and I'm like going, no, I'm not going out tonight for a meal because I know I've shoved it in the mini bar.
I love it.
Shandy or something. It's so sad. But sometimes you just, these little comforts on tour, I think really, really make it. I think if I was going for a chocolate, I'd probably go Snickers. I like nutty chocolate.
Yeah, and because it's got a little bit of savoury in it.
Oh, yeah. Well, so anyway, Pringles. Yeah.
Conductors. Who have been the ones for you that have really inspired you the most, and why do you think?
Did you say conductors?
Yeah.
Oh, tricky. I always loved Sir Colin because he was just such a generous person. I mean, the problem is that sometimes the amazing musicians are not the most technically sound, you know. I mean, he was famous for, you know, the big circles and things like that.
And the singing. It was the singing that used to drive me nuts.
And in recordings, there's definitely somewhere you can just hear him. There was no way that anymore they could say, Sir Colin, be careful, we can really hear you. And he'd be like, oh, sorry, so sorry. And then he'd still just do it. But I always found him such a lovely person, and that makes such a difference because it makes you want to work for that person. I think, I mean, he'd come to conduct when I was in National Youth Orchestra, so I was already like, wow, amazing person. And when I first started going into the orchestra, I remember he saw me and he came up, and you know, he always liked saying hello to the girls anyway, but he'd come and went, hello there, I'm Colin, what's your name? And I thought, I know you're Colin. And you know, he's just lovely. So I was always very happy to work with him, and I really enjoy working with Sir Simon. He has that same kind of generous person aesthetic who will chat to you, and I think that makes, you know, difference when conductors will engage with you as well, not just on the platform. You know, Papano's always great with things like that. I think Papano thinks I'm his stalker, because there was like 1 month where I kept seeing him in places, like, because, you know, I'm friends with, and
yeah.
House. And so, and like a few days before, there had been something at the Italian embassy, and she'd invited me. So he was like, "What are you doing here?" And then he goes into her dressing room in the Opera House before. It must have been Maria Strada, and I was just like lying in the chair there, and we were chatting and she doing makeup, and he was like, "What are you doing here?" And he'd been, and I just thought, "Oh no, he probably thinks."
Maxine Kwok, she's that crazy stalker.
Yeah, that crazy stalker. But I think, you know, when you can have a bit of, you know, a bit of a chat to a conductor, it just sort of enhances the person, and I just then like that. So, you know, that kind of, whether that inspires everybody musically, I just think the more you can relate to that person there, the more you want to sort of share the ideas and their musicality and stuff. So it's, it does make a difference to musicians if there's a friendly, engaging person on the podium, I think. So
yeah, totally.
But I was. Did you watch the live stream the other night of the Damnation of Faust?
I know I didn't watch it because I find it really difficult to watch.
Yeah, I wondered if you were able to watch it to see.
I find it really difficult, especially because in the live stream, like there were a couple of technical things that happened. So I was going for the high note in the beginning of the aria, and I realised I was singing a wrong word. And so I got up there, made a technical choice to change the vowel, but then wasn't sure if I had enough breath. So then I had to bend my knees to try and encourage the breath, just to feel that the breath was going to last long. Like there was just a whole load of things went on, technically. And so when I watched them back, I'm like, oh God, remember when that happened? Oh God, remember that? You know? But I have to say that Damnation is one of the things I'm most proud of that I ever have done, because I think Colin was definitely there with me that day. You know, he was definitely there in those performances for me, for all the Berlioz that I had done with him, and he taught me and he held my hand. And it was a role that just fitted like a glove. It was amazing. And so to be able to be there where I first met Sir Colin and be with my favourite orchestra. You guys know you're my favourite orchestra. You know, I've been there since I made my professional debut with you guys, really. And so, you know, I've got so many friends in the orchestra, but it always just feels like coming home. And the Barbican, you know, people don't like it as a venue. I actually quite like it. You know, I do. I really quite like it. I think, you can't access the people, you know, certainly in the top tier or in the balcony necessarily. That would be nicer if you could see them. But as a venue, I don't hate it. I really don't hate it. And I think we can make special music there.
Yeah, I feel the same actually. Lots of people talk about it not being a good venue or acoustically problems. But when I always find, I don't think it's so bad. You get a very live feeling on stage. You really hear and I'd rather that than being lulled into this false sense of security of hearing something slightly different. It's really quite true. And even sitting in concerts, mind you, I've only really sat in the stalls, but I've always found it's, I've enjoyed what I've heard, and but there's such different perspectives from different parts of your. I know. Glad that you feel so.
I love it. And for instance, when we did that, the Berlioz tour with Gergiev, God, when was that? I can't even remember. So of course Gergiev famously doesn't rehearse, and so I was just thrown in by the scruff of my neck. But at least there were two pieces that I had done a lot. So I did Nuit d'été and Death of Cleopatra, and because he doesn't rehearse, I was just kind of left to my own devices a wee bit in the rehearsals and stuff. And because I knew the venue, I wasn't scared.
Yeah, and we took that on after.
Yeah, we took it on tour, yeah. So we did 8 dates. Can you believe 8 dates we did?
A big sort of tour of, but I remember sort of saying, God, I know he's not going to rehearse, but he really liked you. He was like, because, I mean, it's all right to say it now, I guess, but he could be really quite dismissive, I have to say, of soloists who would come to rehearse, to the point of being quite rude. And he definitely really enjoyed working with you. So I thought, oh, he's really
it was good. It was really good. But I have to say that tour was one of those ones where I just thought, my God, these people are superheroes. Because every day we were up, out at the airport, on the bus, next venue, rehearse, you know.
Yeah, if it's around Europe, it's every day. Actually, because a lot of people are surprised when they say, "Oh, it must be really tiring when you go off to Japan and China and stuff." I said, actually, it's more tiring going around Europe, to be honest, because you just play every day and you move every day. So you really don't get much of a chance. Whereas usually there's some time factored in. If you're flying to China, chances are the next day will be free. So you can either spend the whole day in bed or do, go to the gym, do whatever you need to do to get yourself on track. But with Europe, there's times my alarm goes off at 5 a.m, and you just think to yourself, the first thought is, I cannot believe I'm going to be playing a concert tonight at 8 p.m.
Yeah.
That is always the sort of, you just think, how am I'm barely able to get myself into shout. How am I going to do it? But people just do it. I just catch up during the day. I'm asleep on the flight, sleep on the coach. But I don't know, I'm always amazed at how people have this incredible resilience to just push themselves.
Yeah.
But, and for you as a soloist, and you have to just take good care of yourself, you must have to just go and have a nap and just take, and not be rushing around. I mean, there must be times, and it's the same. I guess you go to places and you would love to maybe go and explore or see things, but you realize that your first priority is your performance.
Don't you think that's the thing that people ask the most? I don't know, honestly, people say to me the most, like, well, where are you going this week? Well, I'm going to Stockholm, which is a city I love. Oh, yeah, well, that must be amazing because you'll get to go to the Vasa, and you'll get to go to the... No! You go to your hotel, you sleep. You eat your tub crackers that you bought in this bar. You go to rehearsal the next day. You walk if it's not snowing. And then because of course you've got to be careful with the variables in temperature, like you do with your instrument, right? Yeah. And then, it's all of that. You're like, no, I didn't do any sightseeing. I've done no sightseeing. I went on a tour to Rome. I've only been to Rome once. And I went on a tour to Rome and didn't see anything. Only saw the hotel. That was it. John Lamalu and I were there, and we didn't see anything, nothing.
There's a lot of places we go to that I just think, I'd love to come back here on a weekend break, because you just don't get a chance.
Yeah.
You write volumes on hotel club sandwiches or something. You just there are certain things that you just know really, really well. And they're all the chops that are available at that airport, and you go, oh yeah, that's the one with the blah blah blah. But a lot of the time you just don't really get the chance, which is why when you go further, I think it's, if you're traveling over to Asia, you do just get a bit more time, in which case, great, if you can get yourself to, sightseeing, then but I just see that as a bonus.
Yeah, exactly. That's an important thing that you've brought up there, club sandwich. Any musician with their salt, traveling musician with their salt, knows that the only decent thing to order off a hotel menu is club sandwich, because they have to make it from fresh. Otherwise, they're going to throw something in the microwave, and that ain't so good.
That's true.
Club sandwich is your way.
I do like getting room service, but one thing I found is you never know what the portion sizes are going to be like. So I've really in the past totally over ordered to the point. I remember once in Taipei, I didn't go out one evening and I ordered some room service. I thought, well, it's an Asian country, portions are going to be small. So I ordered so much food, and they'd sort of brought place settings for about 4 people. And I was like, the guy sort of wheeled the trolley in and was a bit like, but sometimes, because it's really annoying, you order something and it arrives and you're like, is that it? So I always think like, oh, you're dicing a bit, with the how big, but then when you obviously often go back to the same hotel,
exactly,
so you get all the little
If you're ever in Stockholm, you go to the Hotel Diplomat. It's not cheap, but my God, the breakfast is the thing of kings and queens. It is the most amazing, and it's right on the water. It's an extraordinary place.
That's nice. I never used to.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
breakfast now. Do you know what's funny? I was always too scared to go down to breakfast because I always thought, what if there's nobody around that I know from the old.
Yeah, yeah.
And should I join for breakfast? And also the case of thinking, would I rather have half an hour extra sleep or go to?
Yes.
I did, now that I'm older, I kind of don't really give a shit so much now.
Yeah,
So I will go and happily just sit on my own or something.
yeah.
But for years, I was always a bit like, oh no, kind of want to go down to breakfast and Billy No Mates sitting there. Whereas now it's like, no, fine, bacon.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll sort it out. I'll sort it out. And when I'm in Sweden, I eat that Kalles caviar all the time. The orange like fish roe. Oh,
The orange roe.
oh, I love it.
Okay.
Oh, I love it, love it. So that's me. Someone asked a question. So put questions in now. Someone asked a question. Which composer are you both missing during lockdown? Which one are you missing? What or who? Which composers? It could be composers.
Oh, easy for me. Mahler, my favorite composer.
See, that's why we're friends.
Oh, and it's the sort of thing that, I'm well aware that it's not something that we'll just be like, oh yes, we're back this week playing Mahler 9. They're always massively scored and often with choir and singers. So I really miss. We had a live stream of Mahler. Which one was it? Can't remember now. Mahler 9 or something. 2 months ago, it was one of the first live streams we did, and I was literally in tears because I was just so, obviously the music's really moving, but I just wanted to be playing. But it was weird because I was playing. I could see myself playing, but I was just like, oh, I really want to be. I don't know. There's no. For me, it's just there's no replication of that feeling.
Yeah.
Of the sound totally engulfs you from all angles, and it's just vibrating through you. So, which is why it's just not the same when I'm sitting, here in my room, saying, oh, my.
That's what I was trying to get across to this psychiatrist the other day about how, it's nothing to do with musicians being deeper emotionally, and I said to him, in some cases, some of us aren't as in touch with our emotions because we spend hours and hours in a practice room on our own, and some of us find it more difficult, but there's something to do with someone like Mahler, the sound world that he creates, those chords that he creates that are just the most complex bunch of notes. When you look at them on the page, it can be so complex, and yet when you hear it, it's just like your brain wants to explode, and it touches you in a way that you can't describe. And so, yeah, for me, Mahler, definitely. Probably 2, actually.
Yeah.
Mahler 2, because I think it's probably the most perfect, and one of the things I love is sitting on stage with you guys playing and just being able to just be present within the sound of the orchestra, which is such a privileged place to get to sit,
I always wonder one has to, because if there's a time where you have to sit, because I think with Mahler 2, do you come on at some point?
Yeah, it's marked on the score that there's supposed to be a 5-minute pause at the end of the first movement.
Yeah.
So we usually come in at the end of the first movement, yeah.
But I always wonder, because there, with other Mahler symphonies, there are times where there's a considerable amount of time you guys have to just sit there on stage, and I always think, I wonder what's going through their mind. Are they just like enjoying the music or thinking about something else?
The first time I ever did Mahler 2, I can't believe I'm going to tell you this story, but we're all about being real. So I was in Toulouse with Sally Matthews, first time for both of us, and I had this beautiful blood red chiffon coat, and I was wearing it over a black dress, and it was the most gorgeous outfit. And I went to the loo before we were due to go on, and a bit of the chiffon got caught and I got dragged back into the loo by this coat that got flushed down.
Oh,
And I couldn't wear the dress without, because it was just some sort of jersey dress thing I had on. And so I had to pull it out,
hair
dry
dry.
it, wring it out, and of course it went black. And then Sally had to walk so close to me as we walked on stage, because, of course, as soon as that happened, the stage manager then went,
Yeah.
on you that. And I'm like, oh my God, oh my God. So, yeah, that was my Mala 2 first experience.
Oh no.
And yeah, safe to say that coat got thrown in the bin. I mean, it's just, yeah, all of those things happen, don't they? Just crazy stuff like that. But yeah, so that's my Mala 2. So it's a great piece and also a slightly terrifying piece for me. Plus the fact, of course, you've got to come in, Russian wrote on a semitone up from where you guys finish the third movement, and it's unaccompanied. So it's always a little bit scary. You've been sitting there for like 20 minutes.
Yeah,
and then you're like, oh God, is this going to work? Is it going to work? Okay, please. Holding on to everything. No. Oh my God. Yeah, absolutely wild. Absolutely wild. Somebody asked if I liked fried Mars bar. I've never eaten a fried Mars bar, ever. The thought of it just makes me want to retch. No.
Does that mean it gets a kind of crispy exterior and then it's more melty inside?
I think so. But the thing that puts me off is they put it in the batter and then they fry it in the same fat as they fry fish and all sorts.
Oh, Mars bar. I love fish and chips, but I wouldn't want a sort of combination.
Yeah. No, Paul says they're not worth it. Elias says it sounds like heaven. I think it's the same sort of idea as like a banana on, a Mars bar banana on the barbecue. Is it that sort of thing? I don't know.
I've had deep fried ice cream. That was quite nice.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
written almost like cornflakes and then quickly fried. So it's crunchy on the outside, but then just sort of melting on the inside.
Oh, that's quite nice. Well, I fancy that.
Amazingly, no calories.
Yeah, free calories. Yeah. Ask questions, everybody, because we've only got sort of 7 minutes. So ask questions if you've got any questions to ask. I don't hate them, but I wouldn't pay for it again. Okay. So yeah, that's not an overriding, like that's not a go out and have it, is it? It's such revolting. I'm just horrible. Oh. And so, what have you been cooking?
Oh, hello, Alpesh.
Hey, Alpesh. Hey, yeah.
Today.
Say that again.
Deliveroo. I was just thinking about Karen hosted a wonderful quiz on Saturday night where we had to wear some kind of headgear. So we really went for it. And Alpesh, no, you had a great chef's hat at first.
Chef's hat, yeah.
A bike helmet. So and from there, a Deliveroo
a Deliveroo driver. I had a variety of Star Wars things.
Yeah, I loved that.
Yeah, variety of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Question for Karen: if you had to be quarantined with any of your operatic characters, which 3 would you choose? Operatic characters, definitely Rosina, because she's a feisty little one. And I think she'd be able to keep you entertained, but she might also be able to break lockdown in a way that you wouldn't get caught. So that would be good. Who else? Oh, God. I'll need to come back on that one.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. That's definitely one first, but yeah.
I've just read a question from Jill. If you're unfortunate enough to get food poisoning on tour, is it just Imodium and carry on? I mean, I've got really bad traveller's tummy. I have to say, it has to be because in 2 months I have had no problems at all just being at home. I've left the stage to be sick before in Paris. Luckily, I was near the back. Yeah, it is. I think, I think some people deal with it in different ways, obviously. So I've never had to not, I think, actually participate in the concert. I felt terrible, absolutely horrendous, but I've never actually met. Yeah, you just kind of have to do what you do. I always carry Imodium, and people always know I do, so that they come to me, before a concert. So that's good.
Yeah, yeah.
You
You
know,
need to have all the things. That the other thing is you've got to take painkillers when you go to Germany and places like that, because they don't sell them over the counter.
yeah.
So you have to have all of that stuff in your kit bag just so that you know you've got it. I just finished my undergrad in music education. Congratulations. What do you wish music teachers would do more of? I wish they would teach you more to explore your own musical voice. That's yeah, I just feel like conservatoire training and just undergrad training, I think we're too busy trying to tick all the boxes of passing the exams, and I would love for people to have more contact with their own musical identity and not be afraid to explore what that is, because there's no correct way, there's no right way, there's just your way. And my students will jump on here, I'm sure, and tell you that I say that to them all the time. Yeah, I don't know, Maxine, what do you think?
No, I think it's true, and I'm going to go into Biochem's question here about, wow, you're a very high achiever here, because you're doing a diploma and also a degree in what I assume is biochemistry, and a degree with the violin. Gosh, I think
Wow.
if you don't have enough hours in the day, I definitely recommend scaling back the violin stuff to really just focus on maybe technical aspects, something just really, because there are, you just can't possibly be doing the sort of hours that are required. So just really focus maybe on one thing particularly a day. But message me if you private message me if you want any more kind of info. And someone says, how do we deal with stage nerves? You both seem so confident. That's quite funny, because a lot of it is sort of
Smoke and mirrors.
yeah, exactly, because I can tell you I've been crippled with nerves before on stage. It's just something one has to deal with. It's sort of being strong up here and realizing it's kind of not, it's not life and death at the end of the day, and everybody has an off night. I don't know how how you feel.
I totally agree. I say all the time, even if something goes wrong, it's one moment in time. It's a singular moment in time, and then it's gone. And worrying about it and getting uptight about it just makes things worse. I used to get really sick before I performed. I would throw up before I performed. I would have panic attacks. All of that stuff. I went through all of that, and I just went through my journey of learning to be okay with myself, and learning that it was okay to just be Karen and make the music I needed to make.
Yeah.
Because you're not trying to be anyone else. You're not trying to be as perfect as a CD. You're not doing any of that. You're just sharing something with an audience. And I think if we go back to that thing that we talked about at the start, that collaborative feel, it's about collaboration, and it's about a conversation and sharing something. And so if we can make it that, and debunk this thing of how, I think there's an awful lot of thing about the audience are going to judge us, or the audience are going to, and actually they really want to be there and have a great time and just have a night out and enjoy a symphony or a song cycle or a play or a ballet or whatever it may be.
No, you're absolutely right. I think it's, you just have to remember it's a moment of time, and you're there to enjoy yourself. And why why have all that angst beforehand or during, when it's something that is supposed to be spreading a whole load of joy? Right, I guess we should wrap it up now, because it says...
Yeah. Well, you tell about your shoes. Will you have enough shoes?
I'm on day 73 now, so I'm thinking there may be about a week, 2 weeks left, no more than that. Ooh.
Oh,
So, well, I've missed hugs, so that's one thing.
Yeah, I've missed hugs too, and Maxine will tell you, I am like when I get in there, I don't let go of her when I'm in that orchestra. I just hold on to her for the 5 days I'm there.
Lots of love. It's going to cut us off.
Lots
Thank
of love.